The ceremony to mark the beginning of the week of the national commemoration and the 100 days of the 27th anniversary of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi were preceded by the laying of the wreath at Kigali Genocide Memorial, where 250,000 victims are laid to rest, and the lighting of the frame of remembrance. The event was led by President Paul Kagame and First Lady Jeannette Kagame. They were accompanied at the Kigali Genocide Memorial by the Dean of Diplomatic Corps in Rwanda, as well as representatives of the associations of the survivors of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. A few minutes later, the commemoration ceremony continued at Kigali Arena, where different dignitaries gathered in observance of the COVID-19 measures for the ceremony marking the 27th commemoration of the genocide against the Tutsi. In his address, President Kagame noted that this is the second time that Rwanda has marked genocide against the Tutsi under difficult times caused by COVID-19 pandemic, a condition he believes contributes more to hardships faced by genocide survivors. However, the head of state paid tribute to the genocide survivors for their spirit of resilience.
Not being able to come together to remember our loved ones, as it has always been, may add more pain to the genocide survivors. But it is in their strength that we draw the courage to continue rebuilding ourselves and the nation. We appreciate your resilience and sacrifice towards a better future for Rwanda.
While narrating the root cause of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi and its ideology, the Executive Secretary of the National Commission for the Fight Against Genocide, Synergy, Dr. Bizimana Jean pointed out that devastations, killing and prosecution of Tutsi had begun going on since 1959. He spoke on how post-independence Parmehutu ideology of segregation was inherited by the genocidal MRND political organization and its allies.
Tariki ya mbere z'ukwezi kwa gatanu 1998.
On May 1st, 1998, Jacques Kambanda, who was the Prime Minister of the genocidal government, pleaded guilty before the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda that his government carried out the genocide against the Tutsi, which had been planned before the fall of the former President Habyarimana's plane on April 6, 1994. He said, and I quote, "I, Jacques Kambanda, acknowledge that in 1994 there was a planned massacre to kill Tutsi citizens hatched by the government to eliminate them. As the Prime Minister, I chaired cabinet meetings which issued orders to cabinet members, top-ranking military officers and local government leaders to oversee the implementation of the genocide. This included sending cabinet ministers to provinces to rally citizens to participate in the killings of the enemy, I mean the Tutsi." That is one crime Kambanda pleaded guilty to. For those who still struggle to admit that genocide was not planned and deny it, are lying to themselves.
President Paul Kagame, based on this, to call on everyone to boldly and deliberately confront the deniers of the genocide against the Tutsi.
If genocide deniers have no shame of distorting our history, why should you and I have fear to deal with them?
In his address, which lasted about an hour, President Kagame said that the fact that some countries have been hosting genocide fugitives for the past 27 years and refused to extradite them or try them in their own courts is a disgrace to them and an insult to Rwanda and the genocide survivors. President Paul Kagame also spoke about the ongoing trial of terror suspects and those who are accused of destabilizing national security, pointing out that their actions reflect the views of the countries that sympathize with them and those that continue to call for their release. The head of state noted that Rwanda cannot afford to allow such dangerous games against its people to be played on its territory ever again.
You can tell any lie about me. You are free to do so. Can pile up tons of lies. It won't change me. Absolutely not. It won't change this country to be what you want it to be. Doesn't matter how many lies. Let me tell you this. We will be happy to be criticized for doing what we have to do and believe that we have to do against these acts. Rwandans believe that our country cannot afford to allow such dangerous games against our people to be played on our territory ever again.
The commemoration week of the genocide against the Tutsi, which began on Wednesday, April 7th, will end on April 13th, while the 100 days of remembrance will end on July 4th, the day considered the end of the genocide against the Tutsi, when the RPF in Inkotanyi captured Kigali and other parts of the country in the campaign to stop the genocide and liberate Rwanda. Reporting for RTV News, Ethan Tashabia.